And welcome to Elmira College. My name is Chuck Lindsay, and I serve as president of the college. This past spring, the college was proud to announce the beginning of the Tommy Hilfiger Fashion Business School, which features hands-on experience for students who are planning to pursue a career in fashion merchandising and marketing in an accelerated 3-year format. The first cohort of students will enroll next fall and will benefit from the unique blend of the liberal arts and professional experience for which Elmira College is known. Students will have the opportunity to explore self-expression, develop a broad worldview, and begin their professional journey into the fashion industry. But today, we're celebrating a new phase in the college's partnership with the Hilfiger family. The opening of the Tommy Hilfiger Gallery, which, as you can see, will be housed in this iconic space in Hamilton Hall. And now I'd like to call upon George Winter, former state senator and chair of the Board of Trustees, to make a few remarks.
Thank you, Chuck. It's obviously a great pleasure and honor to be here on behalf of the college and also on behalf of the community in welcoming Tommy Hilfiger and his family to this terrific event. Most of you are obviously very much aware of, if not all of you, of the Tommy Hilfiger brand and its global influence and the many, many awards and the tremendous influence that it's had in the Hilfiger family, and Tommy in particular has had over fashion over the last number of years. I mean, in fact, I think he's getting another award in November at the London Fashion Council with respect to the Outstanding Achievement Award. So his brand is international. Having just gotten back from an international trip this year, it never ceases to amaze me walking down the streets and seeing Tommy Hilfiger apparel walking in my direction, and it gives me tremendous pride to know that he's from my hometown, and that I know him and I grew up with him, and as a result, it is just a great honor to have him here in conjunction with the opening of this great school at Elmira College. Many of you don't really know, many of you, particularly those of you who are not local, students in particular, don't know of the Tommy Hilfiger's tremendous community involvement with Elmira and tremendous background in Elmira. The Hilfiger family, of course, has been a fixture around here for decades, and in fact, I think my dad worked next door to Hippo, Tommy's father, for years and years on Baldwin Street, and I know my wife and I were both original customers at the People's Place, albeit we didn't know each other at the time. So the Hilfiger presence in this community has been terrific, and it continues to this day, from great support of disadvantaged youth at EOP to this now, the support of this endeavor at Elmira College. So it is my great pleasure to introduce a fashion icon, someone who is just a terrific personality and presence in the global community as well as this community here, and it's my honor to introduce Tommy Hilfiger.
Thank you, George. George and I did grow up together, and we had a lot of fun on this campus looking for girls and meeting a lot of people. We actually started People's Place in 1969 on Main and Gray, and many of the students worked for us, doing everything from drawing and designing the advertising to basically putting our logo on the shopping bags. But the relationship goes way back, and it's an honor to be here today. It's amazing to be back in Elmira, the place that gave the Hilfiger family its roots, and this is where it all began. I'm proud that our family is able to give back. Together with my family and the Elmira College team, I'm really proud to introduce the Tommy Hilfiger Gallery here at Elmira College. And I'd like to give special thanks
to my brother Andy, my sister Betsy, and the rest of my family who could not be here today. But Andy and Betsy are here. Andy and Betsy, would you please stand? My nephew, Michael Frito. Betsy's son is also here with us. I'd also like to thank Dr. Charles Lindsay, the president who just spoke. He has been incredibly supportive. And when we first started talking about how wonderful it would be to have the gallery in this building, he opened the floodgates. He opened the doors for us. And without hesitation, we put the pedal to the metal, you could say, and here we are today. So, Chuck, thank you, and thank you for all of the support. You've been wonderful. I would also like to thank Allison Wolf, Dr. Allison Wolf, for being a co-collaborator. Allison, could you please stand up? She's doubling not as only as a co-collaborator, but as an esteemed professor, and now, as you can see, a part-time Tommy Hilfiger model. Josh Campbell, thank you and your entire team to prepare everything. The college aesthetics team, who have been wonderful. The campus security, who've been keeping us and all of our, I would say, treasures safe. Rashad Nurse, our first Tommy Hilfiger intern, who's been incredibly successful and at the same time amazingly helpful. Thank you, Rashad. And I could not have done this without my amazing Tommy Hilfiger team. We have my assistant, Sheila Cox, here. Sheila, wave. Allison, the wave. Okay. And I think we have, who else do we have? Kavya and Allison, could you wave, please? Thank you so much. And prior to this, we had a team of 10 of our merchandising pros come up and set it up for us. They do all of our stores all over the world. We have 2,000 stores in the world today. We have headquarters in Amsterdam, in Europe. We have offices in Paris, London, Milan, Rome, Shanghai, Tokyo, and we're in 192 countries. The company is still growing today. We are a global lifestyle brand. And that was my dream, to become a global lifestyle brand when I was here in Elmira on Main and Gray, designing my first jeans and building my fashion career. I had a dream and I had a goal, and I think probably like anything else, a lot of starts and stops. Had a bankruptcy early on because I didn't understand the business of fashion. I understood what looked good, and I think I understood a little bit about design, but I did not understand the business of fashion. And one of the reasons we want to teach these students the business of fashion is because in order to be successful in this business or any business, you have to understand the business part of it, the merchandising, the marketing. And then if you want to design, go on to design school or take up design maybe somewhere else, or maybe someday we'll teach design here. But initially, it is going to focus on the business of fashion, merchandising, and marketing. So I'm more than proud, more than honored. I love coming back. The weather couldn't be better. The welcoming outdoors was phenomenal. And go Elmira. Thank you very much, everyone.
And now I'd like to have Allison Wolf, Dr. Allison Wolf, come up to tell us a little bit about the Tommy Hilfiger Fashion Business School.
Thank you, Dr. Lindsay. We are so excited. We have been working on this project since 2019. And I first have to just say thank you to the Hilfiger family. Betsy, my dear friend, colleague, Andy Hilfiger, and of course, Tommy Hilfiger. Exceptional experience. I remember the day when Betsy contacted me saying that Andy drove by this Hamilton Hall actually and stated, wouldn't it be great if Elmira College would have a fashion business school? They contacted me. I was absolutely honored by that fact, and we've been working on this ever since. We told President Lindsay, and we met with Mr. Hilfiger. And at that point on, it has been just very exciting. Let me just tell you about the curriculum. Our division, Business and Economics Division, which I have my colleagues here, give a wave, Mariam, Jean, yes, we're very excited about this program. It is a very strategic curriculum where what's going to make our program different is the fact that they can graduate in 3 years with their bachelor's degree. This is very exciting, and Mr. Hilfiger wanted this. He stated, listen, I want them to graduate in 3 years. So that way, they can get into the fashion industry quicker, or get that more experience, or then pursue graduate school at one of maybe at Regent's University in London, which we have a partnership with, or some of our other partnerships that we're working on right now that you'll hear about in the future. But this program allows the students to choose either fashion marketing or fashion merchandising. And we're just so thrilled. And now this gallery that the curator, Betsy Hilfiger, this is going to be the heart of the Tommy Hilfiger Fashion Business School. This is where it's going to be, and this is going to become the building of Tommy Hilfiger Fashion Business School. The students will certainly take classes in other parts of the campus because our campus is magnificent, it's beautiful. But this will be where the students will begin. And what a great way for them to begin, because they have the inspiration of just walking into this gallery and seeing the creativity, the entrepreneurship of Mr. Tommy Hilfiger, Andy Hilfiger, Betsy Hilfiger, all the Hilfiger family members just walking through this. This is going to create motivation by our students, in my opinion. But I'm very excited for our future designers to come from in fashion business from Elmira College. They are going to be part of the fashion industry, and it's a $1.5 trillion global business industry. So it's very, very exciting. So again, I want to thank you, Mr. Hilfiger. Thank you, Betsy.
Thank you.
Thank you, Michael, and thank you, Andy. Seriously,
Yeah,
thank you.
We couldn't do it without you.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
And that ends formal remarks. We wanted to have a period now of Q&A from anyone from the press who had a question.
What's it like to see all these designs that maybe you haven't seen in a while, and now they're here, you get to reminisce and do all of that?
Well, it brings back a lot of memories because I remember when each one of the designs was first born and first developed. And I think Andy will also tell you that when we were in the design room together creating a lot of these ideas, it was about how we could create something that would be consumer friendly, affordable, accessible, but still fun and new, but always with a classic backbone. So classic with a twist was, and still is, our thought process.
So this is a school that takes off of the notion of the design schooling and focuses more on the business aspect. Do you think that other schools will follow in its lead, seeing that this is kind of a pioneer move here?
I think other schools will, because I think what has happened and what is happening is a lot of the students who graduate from artistic design schools venture out on their own And the majority of them fail because they're missing that business acumen. So it is something that is missing from the design schools, and we would like to begin with it because we think that it creates a foundation. And we have an expression in-house, and the expression is that you can have the most amazing designs in the world, but if you are not marketing the products properly and successfully, you will be stale and you'll be not in motion, so to speak. These products cannot be kept as a big secret. We broadcast them worldwide with creative marketing and advertising campaigns. Digitally now, virtual stores, we're dealing with building into the metaverse, e-commerce, and as you can see, a lot of photography from magazines and PR, public relations. But it is all changing. It is changing very fast, how to reach the consumer. So we would like to, and we will incorporate all of that into the curriculum.
You talk about building a foundation. Your foundation was built in this city. And now you're back and you're building other people's foundations. Just talk about that full circle moment that you've had.
We built the foundation here. This is where it all started, December 1st, 1969. And it was about creating an environment to sell clothes that appealed to young people. And keeping the brand youthful is something that we strive for. But going back to the foundation was really created here. And it was about building a platform with which to act as a springboard for the brand.
Is there a key aspect to the curriculum that you think will be vital to the student's success?
I really believe so, because I believe that if they master the art of marketing and merchandising, when you put those two together, you have a dynamic sensibility of what needs to be the engine behind any design, any product.
So Tommy Hilfiger is a massive, massive company. And as large as it is, what you see here in this picture is that it's really rooted in family. How do you plan to implement that into the program here at Elmira College?
I really believe that teaching that family is important, and staying close as a family and staying closely connected as a team is very important.
Now, during the 2+ years of the building this program, the COVID-19 pandemic kind of shook up the world during that time frame. So what were some of the obstacles or challenges you faced with continuing to build this program in a remote setting and then working around the guidelines of the CDC?
Well, in this business, it is advantageous to touch and feel. Doing it remotely works, but it is not the same. So we have had obstacles, but we're hopefully looking at those in the rearview mirror very soon.
How can future students of the fashion school look at your life and your, building up the Tommy Hilfiger brand? How can they, what lessons can they take away as they go through schooling through Elmira College?
Well, we have an expression, anything is possible. And I think if I could do it, anyone could do it, because I didn't have the money, I didn't have the education for it. I saved $150 from working in the Hess gas station 3 miles up the road, nights during high school. And I took that $150 with a friend's $150 and bought 20 pairs of jeans from the streets of New York City, resold them, and started the business at 18 years old. But I had a dream and a goal, and I never let that North Star out of my sight. So I think that it is possible if you have the ambition and if you have a goal, but if you do have ambition and a goal, you should never give up. And it's very easy to give up along the way when hardships fall on you or when difficulties arise. And I never gave up. I was discouraged at times, but I never gave up.
What does October 22nd, 2021 Tommy tell December 1st, 1969 Tommy?
New beginnings.
So you started this school here at Elmira College, and I know you've always done so much for the community in the Southern Tier. How do you plan to keep giving back in the future?
I believe in giving back on a continual basis. This is not just a one-time offering, so to speak. We also plan on being very engaged with the school and the students. Betsy's position is that of not only curator, but she will be an ambassador for the family. Andy will be present. I will be present. We will bring other people from the industry here to meet the students, to share their experiences, and we will continually be involved.
So, if that's the end of the questions, what we wanted to do was now break into a more informal setting, and certainly I think the Hilfiger family is going to stick around for follow-up questions if you have any. And thank you very much for attending.
Thank you.